Every professional should know how to draft an email because nowadays majority of the communication that takes place within any organization or outside the organization, that takes place mostly via email. There are WhatsApp messages, SMSs. Now these facilities, quick facilities, are available with the help of mobile phone, but still the formality level of email writing is more as compared to WhatsApp messages and as compared to SMSs. So let us discuss about how to draft an email. Remember, in this video you will come to know about the different etiquettes that you need to follow when you are drafting the mail. These etiquettes are nothing but the tips to make or to draft very professional email. Besides this, you will also come to know about advantages of email drafting as well as disadvantages of email drafting. You will also understand the different formats or the different parts of email. Besides this, you will also get four questions on which you all can draft your emails. And if you can draft these four emails, you will get ample practice to draft an email in your professional life. So let us begin. Nobody is going to ask you what is meant by email, but we should know, because exactly whatever we are going to learn, we should know what it is. So email is the e-letter or online letter. The way we used to write letters, formal, informal, similarly we have to write formal as well as informal online letter or e-letter. Email writing is really important part of professional communication because placing an inquiry, then complaint letters, response to complaint letters, sending a proposal, marketing emails, everything. For everything you have to use email nowadays, and that's why it is very integral or pivotal part of professional communication. See, in this era of 10 seconds reels, people don't like reading, people don't like listening. And in such era wherein people don't like to waste their time, they want entertainment and information within seconds, it is a really a tough job to send an email and expect that the receiver will read it and respond. And in order to force or compel or make or motivate the receiver to receive your email and respond it quickly, it is your moral responsibility to write or draft your email in such a manner that the receiver feels tempted to open it and read it and respond it. And if very quickly your email is responded, that means you are successful. The response may be positive or negative, that doesn't matter, but at least the person opened it or felt that your email deserves to be opened, deserves to be read, and deserves to be sent a reply. That means as a sender of email writing, you are successful. And that's why you should learn how to write good emails. The gist of this whole session is that when you are writing email, you should be brief, you should be to the point from the beginning of the mail. So the best email communication is the one that is simple and clear. Ha Surya, ha Jayadrat, you must be understanding this. So why are these email etiquettes important? Before we learn what are the etiquettes or the tips of email writing, let us see why it is really important. It increases clarity. When you are following all the email etiquettes that we are going to discuss in this session, you will understand that your communication is getting very clear and there are no errors, because you get a lot of chance to edit, proofread it, rephrase and reframe it. So the idea or the message is very clear and it has zero error. It brings efficiency. The email etiquettes, if you follow in your written communication, your communication or the message would be very precise, to the point and focused. It will save your time as well as time of the receiver, and that will make the communication and business possible. It improves your image as a sender of email. If you are following all the etiquettes very clearly, very formally, then it shows that you are a very professional person, very organized, very to the point, and people will start respecting you by the way you write your email and forward them. Besides this, it protects you from legal liabilities. Sometimes if you orally say something and if the person sue you, you may deny it because it's oral message. But when you are writing an email which has zero error, with all the manners and etiquettes, the formality level you have followed, then there are zero chance of any error or mistake. By this, obviously it will save you from any legal complications that may arise out of any gibberish email that you send. But if you are precise, to the point, very clear, you are protected. That's why you should follow the etiquettes and the tips. Now, what are the etiquettes or the tips that you should follow? Number one, type the correct email ID. See, I'll tell you one live example. I think day before yesterday, I watched one movie, South Indian movie. Of course, I am a diehard fan of them. One person who is working in an office, he sends a marriage proposal or love proposal to a girl. By mistakenly, he sends it to all of them, all the employees. And after few minutes, girls after girls, women's of the women, those who are working over there, including male, they come and they simply scold him, curse him. And there are some men, they accept the proposal because they had a kind of gay feeling. So the whole confusion and chaos is created because the person did not type the correct email ID of the receiver. So when you are writing or drafting any email, make sure that you first of all write the whole body of your email completely. By chance, by mistakes, if you just put or touch the send button, obviously there is no email ID that you have put, the receiver's email ID. So obviously the mail will not go. So once you are damn sure about the subject line and all the parts of the email that you have written or drafted them correctly, then you can type the email id. And when you type the email id, if it is correct, obviously by mistake the artificial intelligence gives you a message that this is correct email id. But sometimes the receiver and his or her correct id you should know, and you should put it over there. Sometimes there are some email ids, they are very similar. For example, there are 2 3 people, those whose name start with ram, and sometimes you want one particular ram from that office, but because of some typo error and all, another person's email id gets printed over there or typed over there, and the wrong mail goes to a wrong person, the correct mail goes to a wrong person, and it creates the chaos. That's why you should be very very careful when you are writing or typing the email address. Write the subject line with care and thought. Now when I say care and thought means what? As I said initially, the people, they do not have much time to listen and they do not have much time to read. And that's why, oh, it is the subject line is just a sentence or the line the people read. And by reading that subject line or the sentence, the people decide whether they should go and read the whole body of the email or not. And that's why your email should be written, or the subject line should be written in such a manner that by reading the subject line itself, the receiver should understand what exactly there is in the body of the email. If that attracts or grabs the attention and interest of the receiver will go through the email and respond to you. And that's why it is moral responsibility of every person who writes or draft the email. He should draft the line, subject line, with care and thought. The very gist of the whole body of the email lies or should lie in the subject line. Such subject line you should come up with. Make sure to use suitable greetings or salutation. Every person, those who is going to receive, the person who is going to receive an email, he should be addressed or greeted with respect. It may be sir, it may be dear Mr. So and so, or it may be just Mr. So and so. You can use any kind of salutation as per the level of formality or informality. If you know the person, you can write the name of the person, that Mr. Ram Patil. But if you don't know the person, you can simply mention Miss Sir or Ma'am. Make sure that you know the gender of the receiver. Don't create any error over here. In body of the letter, convey everything clearly that you want the receiver to understand. Whatever you want to say, clearly mention it. Similarly, mention very clearly what you expect from the receiver. Besides what you want to convey, what do you expect from the receiver of the email? You should also very clearly mention all these things and provide all the necessary details that the receiver will need to know. Just put yourself into the shoes of the receiver and then identify and think about what information I would expect if I become the receiver of this email. And then you will understand that what necessary details you should incorporate in your email. Close your email with positivity of interaction and business. So when you close the complimentary close or maybe the third paragraph, you must make sure very positively, very optimistically, that the person should respond to your email, the person should provide the information, or whatever you expect the person to do, you must convince in the third paragraph or the last paragraph of your email in a very positive manner, so that interaction and business take place out of the email that you send. After writing the whole thing, you must check the spellings, you must check the grammar, and you must check the selection of words. Sometimes some words they have some dual meaning. There are some words they appear to be arrogant, there are some words they appear to be formal, there are some words they appear to be informal. So as per the receiver, you must make sure what kind of words you are selecting. If the person is really aged, if the person is having higher rank, if the person is your colleague, if the person is your subordinate, if the person is the shareholder or the stakeholder, if the person is from management of your company, you must select one particular word and the sentences accordingly. Otherwise, the intention with which you send your email, that may not be fulfilled and it may backfire to you. Use CC and BCC, carbon copy and blind carbon copy. You have to use it very professionally. If you want the same mail to be sent to other person who is also related to the topic or the subject of your email, you can use the CC. And if you don't want the receivers to understand your communication, then only BCC should be used. But again, BCC should be used very carefully, because the receivers, those who are in the receiver's address and those who are in the CC address, they are ignorant about it. But unless and until it is really necessary, don't use BCC. Schedule your email. Now sometimes it may happen that you like to work at night, sometimes you are working somewhere which where the time zone is different, and your client is maybe from outside the country, India. Then today, maybe in the morning at 10 a.m. you are sending the mail, but the receiver may get it in the evening or maybe late at night. So this is not professional. So before you send an email to the overseas clients or customers or the consumers or any representative of your company, make sure that as per the receiver's comfort in terms of time, you should send it. And again, you are not supposed to remain awake throughout the night because the time zone should match with the overseas partner. No, better you schedule it, and that facility is available. Set up reminders to follow up. Sometimes it may happen that the receiver may not respond to your emails, so you should make sure that you just put up the reminders, and in the reminders you will understand that one person or two-person or three people, they have not responded to your email, and again you can tell them to respond to your email by setting up the reminders. Make sure there is no repetition of information. Nobody likes the repetitive and redundant words and the messages or the sentences in email, because nobody likes to waste their time. So make sure when you proofread, make sure that there is no repetition or redundant use of language or the words or the sentences in your email. That will definitely put the person off, and you may not get the desired effect of your or response of your email. Keep your email simple. Don't show your vocabulary and linguistic expertise. You might be having a very standard vocabulary like Mr. Shashi Tharoor, but you're not supposed to showcase your vocabulary over there or your linguistic expertise with complex sentences and compound sentences. No, You're supposed to keep it simple so that there is no miscommunication that is taking place between you and the receiver of the email. Don't show, doesn't matter you're very good in language, it may be any language that you're using in email, mostly it is English, but don't send the person to the dictionary. Don't try to waste his or her time, because the person may not be that expert the way you are. But don't underestimate the person. Better you use very simple language that will make the message very clear without any miscommunication. No attachment unless necessary. There are something that you need some complementary material that the receiver should know. It may be brochure, it may be pamphlet, it may be the form, or whatever you want, extra information you want to send with that. Sometimes it is really relevant that a person should understand. For example, when you are writing a job application letter, you need to attach your resume, detailed resume. So in that case it is necessary to attach. But unless and until it is necessary, don't do that. And when you are using the attachment to your email, make sure that you mention in the third paragraph that you have attached one particular document. Mention the name or the title of the document, so that the person should go and see what is there in the attachment. Sometimes if you don't mention it, the person may not go and look into the attachment. There might be delay in the message then. So better you mention that. Respond as early as possible to the mails that you receive. When you are writing an email and expecting the receiver to send you the response within no time, similarly, when you receive any communication via email from any client or any subordinate, any superior, it is your moral responsibility to check every day and respond. If you do, the people will reciprocate and they will also respond to your emails very quickly. Avoid all caps and professional jargon. Sometimes those who are working in computer industry or mechanical industry, they are very comfortable, and the people around them, those who are from mechanical engineering or maybe computer or IT engineering, they are very comfortable with the jargons or the technical terms that are used in mechanical industry, chemical industry, IT industry. But if the receiver is not comfortable with the IT industry technical words, or maybe chemical industry technical words or mechanical industry technical words, there would be miscommunication, there would be confusion. The person may not understand it. So when you are writing any email, make sure that you are writing in a plain language and not in your own language. And don't write the caps. The sentence case you have to follow always, because when you are writing in the caps, sometimes to highlight something you want to grab the attention of the receiver, we feel tempted and we fall prey to this temptation of writing in capital. But don't write it. It is as if you are very arrogantly yelling or trying to sound very loud by using the capital language, capital letters. So you better avoid it and use the sentence case. Don't overuse bold, underline, and italics. People have this just a whim, you can say, to make some words italics so that the person should get attention to that particular word or the sentence. Or sometimes we use quotation marks and quotation inverted commas. There is no need unless it is really necessary. Mostly avoid all these bold and underline and italics. It is because every word of your email should be very very important. Every, right? Be respectful and empathetic in tone of your email. Doesn't matter you're writing the email to your subordinates, but it is your responsibility not to hurt their ego. Be polite, be assertive. Always put yourself into the shoes of the receiver, and then you will realize that what kind of language and what kind of tone or what kind of word I would prefer. Similarly, when you are writing the email, when you are drafting an email, make sure that you are very very polite and assertive when you are writing an email. Any word, any sentence that you use over there, use humor if needed as a pinch of salt. Pinch of salt, the way salt is needed, very much less. Similarly, if it is really necessary to create a good rapport with the receivers, if you are using the humor, that is absolutely fine. But if you're not comfortable using humor, don't go and touch that area, because it is very risky. Sometimes you may make good rapport or you may make enmity. Depends, because everybody is not comfortable handling a written humor. Avoid emojis, links, pictures unless really essential. as it is, the technology is evolving. You can send pictures, you can send emojis, you can send other multimedia, you can also send links. Point is, unless it is really necessary, don't use it. Sometimes some amateurist people, they just try to showcase that they know everything, all the emails and the different things that are possible via email, they just try to do that. But in that attempt, the email may appear overloaded with information and pictures and other emojis, and the level of formality may be vanished. And sometimes when you are writing with the unknown person, when is very important person, if you are using such things like emojis and pictures unnecessarily, it may not create good impression. Avoid text color, background color unless necessary. Now the text color and background color, this facility is also available nowadays, but you are not supposed to just use it for the sake of using it because it is available. No, unless it is really necessary, don't do that. There has to be a proper reason why you are using a particular text color or maybe the background of your email. Not more than three paragraphs. As I said, the first paragraph should be the reason why you are writing the email. Second paragraph, you should provide all the necessary details. And the third paragraph should be what you expect from the receiver of the email, you must mention. So, maximum three paragraphs you can go ahead with. After knowing all these tips and etiquettes of email writing, it is better to understand why email writing is really beneficial. Emails provide faster, easy mean of communication. One can send message to any person at any place of the world by just clicking mouse. If I want to send a letter via post office, obviously it will take a lot of time. But email, just one click and within microseconds it reaches to the person who is sitting somewhere in America, or maybe sitting somewhere in Bangalore or Chennai or Mangalore, and doesn't matter. I'm just walking from my house, Kharkar. And work from home. It is possible only because of this. Various folders and subfolders can be created within inbox of mail, so it provides management of messages. Some messages related to marketing, some messages related to raw materials, some messages they are coming from the authorities, some messages to be sent to the subordinates, some messages that are coming from human resource department. So you can simply segregate them, and this is very possible in your email. It is effective and cheap means of communication because single message can be sent to multiple people at the same time. Yes, of course, it is possible. There are some clientele, maybe more than 100 or 200 people, they need the same message. So you can just send it to so many people within one click. There is no need to repeat it. And this is possible only because of email. Emails are very easy to filter. User, according to his or her priority, can prioritize email by specifying subject of email. There are so many hundreds of emails one person may receive, but I just want to pay attention to related to sales. So I can simply filter it and I can understand what are the different emails that are related to sales, and I will be just paying attention to them. And this facility is available in email. Email is not just only for textual message. One can send any kind of multimedia, pictures, then any attachment, anything is possible to be sent via email. That's why it is really beneficial and advantageous. Email can be sent at any hour of day, thus ensures timeliness of message. Anytime you can send it. There is no particular way, particular time which is designated to send the mails. No, anytime you can send it 24 by 7, and this facility is available. Whereas later the postman may take it at particular time and then go to a particular area and then send it to another sub area, and then it's a chain which is not there, which problem is not there in email writing. It is very secure, reliable method to deliver our message. Yes, it is really secure because as soon as we get the correct email ID of the receiver, we can send it. It also provides facility for edition and formatting of textual message. When you are typing it, drafting it, when you proofread it, you can edit it, you can format it, and then you can send it. There is also facility of autoresponders in email, that is to send automated emails with certain text. Yes, it is possible. You can schedule it, you can time it, and the same message after regular intervals of time can be sent to so many receivers. To write an email, there is no need of any kind of paper. Of course, you just do it online, so there is no need paper. So in some cases, it can be environment friendly. Disadvantages: it is a source of viruses. It is capable to harm one's computer and read out users email address book and send themselves to number of people around the world. Yes, this is possible, and we all know that the frauds that are taking place, because this facility of email, though it is advantageous, it has some drawbacks too. The number one is virus. Number one, spam. There are so many people, they keep sending so many messages, and these are spam mails. And this marketing spam mails are available, and they seem it's like a rain, which is out of season, that is coming up, and obviously people are bothered by these spam mails. And that's why sometimes it is, which email is very much important, and sometimes we simply delete it because why, we consider it as spam. And the spam mails is also another disadvantage. To use facility of email, user must have access to internet. Yes, internet and electricity is must to access email, and the person should know how to write and how to receive the email. But India is such a country wherein there are some people, they are so poor that they can't even afford one day meal or 2 meals a day. And there are some people, they are staying in 27-story antilla, so this huge gap, social gap is available, so the people who are poor, they may not afford it. Sometimes email becomes misunderstood that it is not capable of expressing emotions. Sometimes the sentence that you feel as a sender as very correct, but the receiver may take it otherwise, and this may cause confusion or miscommunication. To be updated, user have to check email inbox time to time. Sometimes it may happen that we have got the email in our inbox, but we forget to check it in the morning or in the afternoon, and the communication may be delayed because we didn't open the inbox. Email has no personal touch. The face to face communication, that has the tone, that has the politeness, that has non-verbal communication, everything is possible in face to face communication, but email lacks it, and so the personal touch is not there. Yes, this is very important for all of you. You should know the format. Initially, the receiver's address. See, receiver's address I have given you. Then comes the sender's address. Then comes the subject line. Then comes the body. I have shown you the three paragraphs, as I expect you to draft your email with three paragraphs. Then complimentary close, very formal, yours sincerely. Then sign of the person, name of the person, designation of the person, and his company. So this is the format everyone has to follow. And these are the four questions, and all four questions everyone should draft email, and you should have these four emails ready. I've given you good examples. These are very important from exam point of view also. I hope you understand what I mean by that. Any question out of this might be there in your examination. I hope email writing, email format, advantages, disadvantages, and the email etiquettes come tips are clear to you. And I hope you will draft these four emails very professionally. All the best. Thank you.